We're going to dive right in, Tanya. So you have survived so much with your story. You've had abuse, you've had loss, you've gone through some very emotional things. Take us back to that lowest moment. What finally made you say something has to change?
I think it was a mixture of two things. I was going through a miscarriage, and it was just the most horrible time because I've always wanted to be a mom, and I never thought I would have the chance to be one. And then when I was going through that, I remember my partner at the time that I was with literally just said to me, "Yeah, you're going to do this alone. I can't do it. It's too hard for me." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then after that, I found out so much when I returned back to work after the miscarriage. We were sharing computers and I worked from home. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm about to go to my hour lunch. Can I jump on the computer and play a couple of video games with my friends? He was like, yeah, go ahead and do it. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I had to sign into my stuff and he forgot to sign himself out. And I pull it up and I just see a whole bunch of stuff about them talking about me and saying, oh, I'm just with her for insurance, a roof over my head, for the car. She's a fat pig, like just horrible stuff. And I found out the 10 years that we were together that they were just using me so they can have somewhere to stay. And they never really cared for me. And I called my friend crying because I did everything for this person. They only had a job because of me. They had a car because of me. They obviously they had everything because of me, and that's why they stayed. Um, so seeing that, I called her and I was like, "Hey, please come over," because there's been many times where they've tried to take me out of this world, and I was just scared that they were going to do something. But thankfully, she came as fast as possible, and when I confronted them, they're like, "Oh no, that's not true. That's not true." And I was like, "Oh really?" Because it's all right here. And I showed them everything. I was like, I found everything. And like, you're still going to try to lie to me. And then that was like, I was like, all right, I'm done. I was like, I'm done. Like, we're done. I'm leaving you. I'll find somewhere to go. And I'm just going to start working on me because I did it for 10 years with you. I let my health go. My depression got really bad with them. And I was just like, not anymore. And enough is enough.
So what changed within you during that moment? Was it like an internal battle within yourself, or was it like a loud emotional, like enough is enough? Explain that for us.
It was very loud. It was very loud inside me. I think my inner self was just like, you did everything for this person. I had my bags packed many times in that relationship, and I was like, well, what would they do without me? I was like, they would suffer. They have nowhere to go. And then I was like, okay, unpack my bags. 'Cause I felt bad for them. I was like, I don't want anything bad happening to them. And that's when I was just like, nah, it's about you, girl. Get it together, get out of this, work on you. Cause I wasn't doing too good. I was over 600 pounds. I mean, everyday tasks was just really hard for me. And I was like, that's it. Like, that was just like, it pushed me.
So losing your child is unimaginable. And coming from a male standpoint, I have had my significant other at the time had a miscarriage. So, I'm definitely sorry for your loss.
Thank
How
you.
did that heartbreak affect your health, your mindset, and your will to want to survive when the doctor tells you, you just suffer from this?
Well, it took me days to process it. I remember I called the doctor's office a couple of times after they told me, and I was just like, did we did we have this conversation? Did I go in there? Did this really happen? They're like, yes, Miss Santiago, did this really happen? And then when I came to it, I was like, so I can't have kids. We figured that out. Like I can get pregnant. And I was just like, but me being the size I am, it's not going to go full term. So I have to do something. If I want to be a mom and I want to live in this world as long as I want to be, I need to get my crap together. Like, no more making excuses. No more saying, I'll do it later. I was really big on saying, I'll do it later. I'll start Monday. Like, my body knows, like, it's Monday. Like,
So did the grief make you feel like you were stuck in that moment, like you were frozen, or was
oh
it the
yeah.
push you needed to move forward?
It had me stuck in that moment for a little bit. I think for maybe a good month or two, I was just I was very depressed. I wouldn't shower. I wouldn't go to work. I wouldn't even move out of my bed. It got that bad because I blamed myself. And I was like, I'm the reason why my child isn't here. I was like, I caused
Mm,
this. If I took better care of my health, if I wasn't where I was in life, I would have probably brought the child full term and I would have my kid here. So for 2 months, it was like that. And then what really, not only the miscarriage that helped me, another thing was like just even getting out of bed. Like, you're laying down in bed and just getting up, sitting up in that bed was just a mission for me. I was huffing and
mm,
puffing. I was like, that's not okay. Like, I should be doing that when I'm like running a mile, like for a very long time. Like, and that was just like,
mm-hmm.
okay, I can't even take out my trash. I can't even do my dishes without sitting down. Like, I can't do everyday things. And that's just not okay.
So did that pain become a part of your strength to this day?
Oh, yeah. Not only the miscarriage, but all the trauma that I went through in my past, just like growing up and the family trauma and just the trauma from my ex. Use that every day, even when I'm in the gym. Like, I have really bad PTSD from all the trauma that I've been through, and like certain sounds, certain smells, and like certain songs would trigger it. So when I'm in the gym, sometimes I'll use that music to push me even more. Because sometimes I
Mm.
do have those days where I'm just like, oh, I don't want to be here. I'm tired. But I turn that song on, or I'm just like, no, Tanya, keep going, keep going. Because if you don't, you're going to follow into those bad habits again. And then you're going to be right back at that one girl that was just miserable.
So when you first started your weight loss journey, it wasn't in the gym. It was borrowing space from people, a pool, eating food bank meals. What was that season of your life like?
That was basically just me trying to have survival skills, basically. It was very interesting because I've never been that down low before. And for 10 years, all I've known was living in my own place, having my partner there, having my pets, just doing my everyday routine. But now I'm in somebody else's stomping grounds. It's not my place. I'm isolated in one little room, but I do have access to, everything else. But it was just weird. It was me and my cat and whatever I could bring with me. So starting over again was definitely very strange. It was a very awkward time for me, and especially not being able to afford the proper foods that I needed or just stuff like that. So going to the food bank made me feel a little weird. But trying to get adjusted to that was just like, oh, okay. But eventually it started to feel like a normal routine after I kept doing it.
So with all of that going on, what made you decide, okay, now I'm gonna lose weight too? Because that's a
Because now it's
journey in
about me.
itself.
Right. Because now I'm like, I don't have them anymore. Like, so what's my excuse? I was the
Hmm.
person that always made excuses. Like, that was my thing. It's giving up and making excuses. My two main things I've always done. But I was like, you know what? No, I can't sit here and be like, oh, I want to be that woman. Because I've always wanted to be that girl that was in the gym, the girl that had a nice body, who was bodybuilding and doing all that. I've always wanted to be that girl. And I grew up with people that I went to school with that achieved that. And I was like, oh, I'm so jealous. They look amazing. I want to be that person. I was like, but now is the time. I don't have anybody holding me back anymore. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make sure I walk every single day. I did not miss a day. I walked every day. And then when it was the spring/summertime, we had a pool, thankfully. And, exercises were hard on me. I was over 600
Mm-hmm.
pounds. My knees couldn't take it. My feet couldn't take it for that long. My back couldn't take it. So I was like, we're weightless in a pool. This would be perfect. So I would look up exercises to do inside of a pool. And I was in the pool for like maybe, I'm telling you, hours every single day. So not only did I walk, but I was in the pool. And then the food bank couldn't give you, the proper nutrition you needed. It's whatever they got. So I decided, I was like, okay, well, if I can't get the low carb stuff like that I want to do, then I'm just going to make do with what I got and eat way less than what I would.
Wow. What kept you going? Like, even when no one was watching, what kept you saying, I'm going to keep doing this?
What kept me going was my kid, that kid that I would have had, and the future kids that I can have. And I did not want to see that old person anymore. I didn't. I hated the old Tanya. And I was very determined that the Tanya that I wanted to be was a Tanya that I would get.
Before you go, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button and share this with someone walking their own path. Join the Facebook group Bariatric Paths, Your Journey, Your Tribe, and sign up at bariatricpaths.com to get all the details of upcoming events, support, and more. We're in this together. Go out there and crush it. This podcast is for support and inspiration only. It is not medical advice. Always talk to your doctor or care team about what's right for you.